and welcome to That CBD Show. I'm Christy Burkhead, and with me is Drew Burkhead.
Hey,
good morning.
Good morning. I'm a little chilly this morning.
It's brain freeze, a little chilly
I'll
today.
tell you, it's got me kind of cold, like the lizards here in Florida that get cold and don't move.
Can't function. Little chilly. It drops below 70 degrees in Florida. We're all about to die. Turtleneck, sweaters, boots. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's warm things up a little bit. Yeah. Welcome to episode 4. So I'll just do a quick recap of last week. Actually, 2 weeks ago, because we didn't film last week because of Thanksgiving.
Right.
So.
Hopefully everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
sure did.
We did. Yeah. So
ate too much.
I think that's part of what
that's the idea.
Right? So last week we covered we were covering some market announcements with Solis with Halo for Freedom. And they're doing some partnerships with that group. It's a veterans group. There's some exciting things there. We talked about Jim Miller with the U.S. Hemp Roundtable, and some stuff he's doing there. In fact, he was just down in Georgia. I was reading just this morning. He was just down in Georgia speaking with the government down there and helping them kind of understand what's really going on with CBD.
With the state? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the state of Georgia. And that kind of bleeds into Alabama, too, because there's some things that the U.S. Hemp Roundtable is doing down there to help clear up some of the misunderstandings of CBD. So.
The misunderstandings.
But that's for a later day. And so we talked about the labeling for the CBD market. I'm going to circle back to that. And there was also the announcement from Solis on the trial size of topical.
Right.
So we're actually going to cover quite a bit of that, segment 2 and 3 of this show. And then we talked about differences between marijuana and hemp. Definitely check that out, episode 3. If you're watching this one for the first time, go back, check out 3. That was good coverage that we had there on those differences and dealing with, what some of the misnomers are with
misconceptions about the two and their connection.
Yeah. Some of the common myths about CBD, we covered that. That was interesting. And then referencing CBD and the Ministry of Hemp during that segment as well, which is also a good resource to get research on. And then we looked at what to look for when you purchase a CBD. And so that was basically what we covered in episode 3, all good stuff. One thing we didn't quite finish at the end of that one, which I just wanted to cover a little bit, was the labeling on the bottles, specifically.
The QRC code?
Yeah, we have this Ultra Cell here. Now the labeling comes into play. It's extremely important because there's a lot of self-governance that needs to come into this market and will be coming into the market in the next year or 2 years. How long that takes to kind of evolve and play out. But we use UltraCell because we're ambassadors for this company, Solis, and this product is so tremendously leading in the industry. But for reference, on the back of this bottle, and you can see it there, the QRC code, what that means with labeling is that you can actually scan this QRC code on the back of this bottle and you can see the source of the hemp
It's really
product.
cool. Yeah, you can actually see the batch of hemp that your particular bottle of CBD comes from, and you can see all the testing on that, on heavy metals that might be in the soil and the amount of THC. It's really cool. So this is something, the way I understand it, that the self-regulation of the industry, that they're going to require all CBD oils to have that on their bottle ultimately.
It needs to be.
Right.
I mean, that's why, we reference like Jonathan Miller and the Hemp Roundtable. There has to be some, we have to step up. The industry has to step up because you have all of these companies that are coming in and just trying to put CBD on their packaging and say, this is a CBD, and then distribute it in all these different locations like, gas stations and different various places. And we've already talked about this. You just don't know what you're getting.
First of all, there could be no CBD in it at all.
We've even found that.
And it could be grown in China, which you certainly don't want because hemp sucks up everything from the soil. You get some pollutants in the soil and you're getting it in your CBD oil if you take it from a product that's been grown somewhere like that. Okay.
Yeah. So Solis is definitely leading the charge in this labeling process and working with these legal groups and working with the states, and what their requirements are, and saying, what are you looking for? And by the way, we're going to take it a step further. Make sure everybody has open access to what this product is, and that also comes into play. It's really important for groups that we work with, such as the medical community, chiropractors, offices where you're not just you know, a consumer buying the product because you want to see what that is. But when you have offices, and we work with groups where they can then supply this product out into the public, you want to have this type of labeling and this type of packaging for your own safety's sake and your own legal requirements, because you know, there's going to be a time when either groups are going to want to verify or legal groups are going to want to verify that you have a product that is legitimate. And to do that, you're going to have certificates of authenticity about the product itself. And so what's neat about this and innovative is that instead of keeping it on file on a paper somewhere, you can scan each bottle.
On the bottle, yeah. The Ultracell, they're, as far as I know, the company leading that. We're the first company to have that QRC code already in place and on all of our products. So I love that.
And speaking of then medical community, I wanted to highlight a specific a doctor individual.
Yeah.
I call him Dr. K. Dr. Karamachi is his name, and I want to highlight him because we've talked about this before, where Dr. David Allen ran a study and said only 13% of the medical schools are actually talking about the endocannabinoid system and what CBD is and what that whole interaction is. So it really isn't out there into the medical community yet. Well, Dr. K, he's opening up his own practice at 8320 Stone Run Court in Tampa, Florida.
West Chase area.
Yeah. Zip code is 33615. Dr. K is he's embraced working with us and understanding the endocannabinoid system. He's embraced holistic care. He's into bringing you know, East meets West medicine, really taking time to sit with an individual and discover and uncover what it is that they're going through, and trying to find different solutions outside of maybe just that first grab at a prescription.
At a pharmaceutical, okay.
Yeah, at a prescription medicine. So he's just a super neat guy,
really neat
and
guy.
I think you're going to see him more. You're going to see him show up on the show more.
We'll have him on as a guest
speaker. So we're excited to work with him, and for somebody to embrace that in the medical community and say, I'm open to looking at natural, you know, solutions and bringing that into my practice and bringing that into balance with, you know.
Now, he's been in practice for a while, and he's affiliated with a couple of Florida hospitals, correct?
Yeah, 14 years. He's been a DM and other certifications as well. There's a couple of hospitals here locally that he works for. Yeah,
great.
Yeah, so he's just.
Well, we'll look forward to having him on. That would be nice.
Yeah, so he's just a super neat guy. Yeah. So we finished out the purchasing for this or the labeling for the CBD. Talked about Dr. K. Now in our next segment coming up, what we want to do is we're going to cover down on a couple of stories that we've had recently. We have had a couple of kind of neat,
we get them all the time, but yeah, we've had a few really good ones.
Yeah, so we're going to do those, and then we're going to talk about how to, a challenge that somebody's going through and how we're helping them go through that with some of the products and boosters that we have. So we're going to cover that when we get back.
All right.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi, my name is Joe Stalteri. I'm one of the owners of Complete Care Systems. At Complete Care Systems, we do carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile and grout sealing, wood floor and laminate floor deep cleaning, as well as stripping and waxing of linoleum and vinyl floors, and a whole lot more. We also run daily deals and special, which you can find at CompleteCareSystems.com, or simply call Tricia up at 727-364-5158, and she'll answer all your questions and give you over the phone free estimates. Or she'll send me out to your home or office to give you an on-site free estimate. At Complete Care Systems, we don't cut corners, we clean them.
Hi, welcome back to That CBD Show. I'm Christy, and this is Drew.
So we're going to go into a couple of stories just for the week that we've had, things that we've been working with people that have been getting onto the CBD. And one of the first that comes to mind is a good friend of ours. That
a really good friend of ours. And of course, we've been in this game for about a year now. So as people know about it and they learn more and more, they come around. So this is a girl that I've been talking to for a long time about the CBD, and she just was a little reluctant to try it. So about 3 weeks ago, she came to me and said, I think I'm ready to try this. And she was actually looking for it for some other pain that she was having. And so she started taking the CBD, and after about a week, she said she really didn't think she could tell anything. And about 10 days in, she said her husband looked at her and said, you know, you've been wonderful. They were in the process of putting on an enormous world-class event, just the two of them as promoters and running an event. So it was a massive amount of stress, and it was out of town. And she said normally she would have been just a horrible, stressed out wreck. And when her husband mentioned to her how wonderful and calm she had been and what a calming force she had been during this event, she thought about it and realized that the CBD hadn't really addressed her pain directly yet, but it was doing something else that she hadn't expected, which was making her feel very calm and relaxed and tons of clarity and lots of focus. So she is now absolutely hooked and has joined us as a distributor, as an ambassador for the product, so in just a matter of 3 weeks. So she's known about it for a year, but just reluctant to try it, and finally did and got a benefit that she wasn't expecting, which I love. It's this story of, you know, taking it and maybe addressing a particular issue, but finding out that when you do start something natural like this and something as powerful as this cannabidiol, that it creates side benefits that you just weren't even thinking about, and that's just awesome. It's been a great story.
Yeah, they're really good friends and really good people.
Yeah.
It's amazing that it's been a year.
A year, right? And just reluctant to try it, and you know, didn't know about it. And she finally spent some time with me and listened to me talk to some other people about it. And she said, "Okay, I think I'm ready." And she did it, and you know, now she is getting some other benefits, but that's going to take a little time. But with that immediate result of just mind focus, clarity, and calmness, that was notable to her.
So to go for a year, don't wait a year. You can certainly find product at fitfamilycbd.com. You don't have to wait a year, to get relief. But
exactly.
I was having a conversation with another ambassador, new ambassador with our organization, and she is helping a friend out, getting this friend onto Ultracell. And what this friend is dealing with is a couple of slipped discs, and yeah,
painful.
So, and then on top of that, you know, how to get it fixed, and one of the options is to have some surgery where there's some nerve fusing or burning, where you're actually just basically not going to be able to feel the pain that's there. Okay. He does not want to go through that because to his understanding and belief, and I tend to agree, is that pain is telling you
that there's a problem.
Signal,
right,
you know, and if you're overexerting, underexerting. So he's trying to go about things in a natural way, and so he's using the Ultracell, and he's got relief from that, but he's still not all the way, you know, where he'd like to feel. Now, I'm putting my arms around what he's going through, and we had a conversation last evening.
He's been taking it for what, a couple of weeks?
Not very long.
Right.
Yeah, just a week, 2 weeks. So that still needs to get into a system. But the question comes up, now that this line is expanding, especially when we talk about Zalise, and we talk about Ultracell, and we talk about how deep they're going into this endocannabinoid system, we now have this launch of a topical CBD cream. And so now you can start to add something like this into your portfolio of the products that you're taking. Right. We've already talked about the boosters that the company has made and put out there that also, you know, expand that. So what I'm going to try to bring you into is that conversation that I have with her as far as he's taking the Ultracell. Where should he best put his next dollars? Is that in the CBD cream to put that on top of the area?
In the area.
And we'll cover that a little bit later. Or is it using one of the additional boosters that the company has, such as the ice?
The Ultra Ice, which is, yeah, very, very good for inflammation and loaded with turmeric.
Yeah. So my conversation is, and this is where we come into play as ambassadors, is to have those conversations and really work with an individual and get to where your regimen or your routine for relief is, because it's not always exactly mapped out. We're as different on the inside as we are on the outside.
Sure, yeah.
We have all of these options that we can use, but what is the right way to do it? So you have to kind of talk it through with somebody, think it through with someone. Now, my recommendation in his instance was take the Ultracell daily. Always take that. That's the baseline to take. But
yeah, that's the flagship.
Yeah. Add the ice. Let's try 30 days with the ice. Maybe you can do 45 days with the ice, but let's try 30 days with the ice, which is
the Ultra Ice. Yeah, right there. Yeah,
ice here, which is it's an additional. It's a non-hemp based product.
Right.
It has a lot of the curcumin turmeric family in it. It has the bioavailability science that comes along with the Ultracell product, which is even more important. See, the hemp oils that are out there conventionally are being absorbed at 6% in the body. So if you spend $100 on product, you're only getting 94 of it.
Or you're only getting $6 on it. You're throwing away 94. Math.
Gotcha. Seeing if you're paying attention. That turmeric family is at 1% absorption.
1%, right. Whatever you take of turmeric, you're only going to absorb about 1% of that. We don't get it in our diet in the United States at all.
Yeah.
Not really. So yeah, that
Not
absorption
enough.
technology.
You have to. Dr. De Silva will tell us. You have to get a good handful of this really in your diet daily to really get the benefits of that.
The anti-inflammatory properties of turmeric, they're extremely powerful from what I understand. So.
Yeah. Now that's not the only thing driving that ice product, because it has this mimetics formula, which is a baseline formula that Zalise puts into all of their boosters. And then on top of that, they add these additional natural botanicals that are really designed to manage specific things.
Right, and the way that I understand it, this Ultra brand, everything in the brand is designed to work with the endocannabinoid system. Even though it's not a CBD per se, it is designed to work with that endocannabinoid system. So you've recommended that he start adding the ice to work just directly a little bit more.
I did, and so they're all complementary. We're going to talk about the cream a little bit more, and I'm going to give a promo code for a trial size of cream when we come back.
Okay, wonderful.
Segment.
All right, so we'll come back in a few minutes after we hear from some sponsors. Welcome back to That CBD Show. This is our third and final segment for today.
And we're going to talk about how we talked about the ice, but let's cover down on this CBD cream.
Oh yeah, okay.
So the launch of this CBD topical, and now so this is still pretty recent for Zalise, at least in the last collection of weeks, to get this product out and get it out in the marketplace, and it's still a little new for us as far as working with it and getting testimonials back. But we are getting testimonials back from people all over the country through our ambassador groups and what's happening, and I think what we are really looking to open up is, so you have an Ultracell CBD, and you're starting to learn about that, or
the oil drops.
Yeah, the oil drops themselves. Now you have a CBD cream, topical. So what are the differences? Why are they different? And what applications would I use either one of those?
Right, sure.
It seems like a simple answer, but I think once you really start to open up what all the different things that people are working to sort of work with or heal, I think it opens up a lot more questions than I even expected. So I think let's crack that open in a little bit. So we always promote the Ultracell and the drops internally.
As a daily driver, that's the best way to get CBD and cannabidiol into your system and get it all over, is to take it orally.
Yeah, and basically we're just restating research in our own words.
Right, yeah, sure.
Because that's just out there, that's what's shown. You get that into your system, you get it dispersed, and then it's able to reach all those areas in your body to kind of complete the whole spectrum of communication and things that it's doing inside your body. That's why that bioavailability always comes into play so importantly for us, and the power behind the product, because if oils only absorb 6% and it's important to get it into your system for it to do its job, well then how much are you actually getting into your system when it's not absorbing that much? So with these bioavailable products that are coming in at 94% range is proven in studies, that makes it really powerful.
Sure.
So the topical. So then when would you use that? The endocannabinoid system, the CBD, the receptors that everything works with are at the cellular level. So you can get CBD into the skin, apply it to the skin, and it can get into an area at a localized level and interact with those receptors and do what it needs to do to bring some relief at those levels. In fact, when you have a bruise or an injury that occurs, we've found through our reading that cells will actually increase the amount of receptors, or they'll activate these receptors, whatever the right term is there. Those cells are asking for this interaction in this endocannabinoid system to take place for healing to start to happen.
Right, yeah. Okay, that makes total sense. So if you get sore muscles, that sort of thing, it's great for that as well.
Yeah, and the other thing about this particular cream is that they have the same bioavailability that's in the Ultracell drops. They've applied to this their Ultracell CBD cream.
Right, okay.
Okay, so you're getting that fast, rapid absorption. Now, we'd be remiss if we didn't say there's another grouping of about 4 to 5 major components that the company has put into their product. And then 20 other additional essential oils. Okay, and each one of those is strategically put in there.
Right, so that they can design to do a specific thing.
So it's not just that, and it's full spectrum hemp CBD. So it's not just that, it's all these other components that are put in there to design to bring a lot of health and healing.
Now, I do know that like an open wound or inside the mouth or any place, that's not a good idea. Right? No. Yeah, burn a little bit.
No, you don't want to get it into any area like that where you're going to get that absorbed, like into the
burn
into the bloodstream. Yeah. So it's a great product. Now they've come out with this mini size.
Yeah, a little trial size of the cream, which is fantastic.
There's another thing about this, and I just want to make sure we don't miss it, is that now I've been reading, what is this topical being used for, and how do you use it with the Ultracell drops? So we would recommend always taking the Ultracell drops and then have the cream there with you, because you may have something at a local level that you're experiencing, and we can kind of go through what some people
let's talk about that, what some other people have said.
But before, I don't want to miss it. Here's an interesting thing that I found in this is now you have parents, and let's say they have, I've seen in here, somebody as young as 2 years old. Because on the Ultracell it says 18 or over, but we know that there's parents that will have the Ultracell and they'll give that to their children because research shows that they're comfortable to do that. It's their choice, their discretion, and they may do that to help them with some medication, that they're going through. But I even caught in here someone as young as, say, 2 years old in some of the feedback where the mother was able to use the topical on some conditions.
For certain things?
Yeah, that someone was going through. So I guess my point is it's a great way to get access to a CBD if you're not comfortable, taking it in a liquid form for whatever reason, or there's some other reason that would keep you from taking the Ultracell in a drop form. You can still get the advantage of this, from a local level. Okay. So some of the things that were coming back were, and I think we have a photo of a hand surgery that took place that we can put up here. So I hope you're not squeamish, and if you
if you are, look away.
You know,
Too
look
late.
away. But this was something that I captured. This is an actual photo from someone. Now the photo, let's see, for the viewer, I'm not sure which side that is, but you can see the more inflamed side. You can see that. That was 5 days post-operation on a hand surgery of a young boy that was a baseball player, and, you know, and he had that had to have this hand surgery done, and so that was 5 days post-op. And then the next picture that you see there is 11 days post-op, and the point of that being is that they were using the Ultracell CBD cream around that area, the topical cream around that area to help heal.
How many days was that?
Well, the ultimate healing side you see there's 11 days. So there's 5 days and then there's 11 days.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, you were saying don't get that into an area you don't want to get it into. Well, incision would be that kind of area. So
they were using it all around, and
yeah, you'd have to be careful, you know, how you were using that all around. But some of the other things that we've heard that people are using these using this for is that shingles. That's something that I read about here. You know, somebody at least suffering from that.
I know my mother's had that in the past. Years and years ago, I believe. It was awful.
30 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. So there's so much more that we could cover on what was happening with those with the CBD cream. But to give you all a chance to try the CBD cream, go to our website, www.fitfamilycbd.com, and enter the coupon code ThatCBDShow for the mini topical CBD cream on the website.
You can do
and you'll get a discount.
Price is right.
Yeah, you'll get a discount for watching us today and for trying that cream out. And so I guess we look forward to next week's show, and we appreciate you all being here today. You can see us at fitfamilycbd.com, and we'll catch you next time.